Greetings one and all and welcome to Crystal Maze. I'm your host Speeder111. Wait a minute. This is another Football Manager video. Never mind. Let's get straight on with it. Episode 4. We have Burnley. And what can we say about them? Well, they are a very small town up in Lancashire, Burnley, so it's really a surprise that they are in the Premier League whatsoever. So you've really got to big up the achievement that Sean Dyche and everyone behind the scenes has done to get them there in the first place. Now, the history of the club obviously goes back a long way, but as you can see, they normally give a 20-year overview, and they started in League One in 1996-1997. And now they're in the Premier League. A steady march up the league, I would say. I'd say a bit of a yo-yo club in the last sort of 5 to 10 years, but they're looking to establish themselves in the Premier League. This is their second year in it, and as I say, you do have a pretty good squad at your disposal, which we'll go and look into now. So again, they've got two good goalkeepers. Tom Heaton is a very, very good player on here. £25 million for a 31-year-old goalkeeper, though, is probably a bit excessive in my view. Nick Pope, good young keeper at 25, English as well, so he does add to that quota. They do have a couple of decent centre-backs, James Tarkowski and Ben Mee, although they do lack a bit of cover there, so that will be one position I'll be looking into in a moment for you. Left back, you do have Charlie Taylor, who they brought in on a sort of tribunal fee, so you'll still be finding out what they'll be paying in real life, but that doesn't really come into it on the game. You do also have Matt Lowton at right back, who's very good, but no other cover really. Phil Bardsley, I mean, he's been around the block in the Premier League. He's been with United, he's been with Sunderland, he's been with Stoke, but not top quality, and again, that might be another position defensively you'd look into. They've got great width in Robbie Brady and Johan Berg Gudmundsson. They do provide that direct width, and they do like to toss balls into the box. So again, maybe sticking with that style would suit them pretty well. They've got that style well established now. Jack Cork, one of my underrated players, I would say. Former Chelsea trainee, obviously went to Swansea. He's played for England as well, and he's very, very combative. I'll just show you his stats now. So as you can see, likes to play as a Segundo Volante. That's one of these new positions on the game. I would say he's better off as a defensive midfielder or a midfield as a box-to-box, Carolero, Mazzala, any of those positions where he's looking to, be on the front foot, but can also sit in front of the defence and play the ball out if need be as well. His mentals are disgusting. Determination 18, teamwork, positioning. As I say, work rate as well. He doesn't shy away from a tackle. Natural fitness 18, stamina 16, so he's well suited to the Premier League and all the rigours that come with it as well. A player up front that they signed this season as well, Chris Wood, likes to be a bit of a target man. You could also use him in other ways, either a defensive forward or a complete forward, but would be the other options in my opinion. 14 finishing. But in my opinion, and when I've played against him, certainly does find the back of the net with a lot of regularity. So again, good striker at the Premier League, and he'll work hard for the team as well, which is, fits the Burnley ethos. In terms of finances, what have you got to work with? Well, the overall balance, £23 million. They are in profit at the moment, and as I say, they are a club that's run on a very small budget, only £815,000 on wage budget. So again, that Premier League money is going to really bolster the club's coffers very, very quickly, and you've got £10 million to spend at the moment. The minimum expectation from the board is to avoid relegation. And I do feel that Sean Dyche has put the club in a very, very strong footing. And as I say, not with many additions, you can actually come up with a survival tactic this season. And as I say, you can look forward to the profits from next season and look to develop your own style, perhaps. One thing to mention is Danny Ings. He does have a couple of clauses that you can get straight at the start of the season, so that will add an extra 6.16 million to your transfer budget if you wish. You can leave it. What I would say is he's valued at £18.5 million. He doesn't really go up in value a lot because Liverpool don't really play him a lot. So again, I would definitely cash in on that straight away. You can also cash in on the 44 league appearances because there's no bloody chance he's going to do that for Liverpool either. Because Burnley don't have a massive wage budget in terms of attracting players, what I've done is I've picked out a couple of players that might be interested. Firstly, you got Matthew Connolly. He's been around the block. He's played for QPR. As I say, not a lot of Premier League experience, but he is a very, very solid centre back. 6'2". He's known as a ball playing defender, but he likes a tackle. And I've used him a couple of times in Championship saves and lower league Premier League sides. And as I say, you don't need necessarily a first choice player. You need someone who is a good backup, which he is certainly, and someone who, if Tarkowski or Ben Mee get injured, then they can come in and fill that void. And he would be one to choose. In terms of value, he's available for around £3.2 million. So again, you could easily fit that in your budget as well. Now this one's a little bit of a cheat, but as I say, you'll get my thinking in a moment. So James Chester, he's at Villa at the moment. He's available for around £9.5 million. So it would soak up a fair amount of that budget. But as I say, he's a really, really good player. Very, very good mentals, very good natural fitness, good stamina as well. As I say, he's a very, very solid defender. And actually, I would retrain him as a right back. He's not really tall enough at 181 to suit that centre-back role. But if you wanted to play maybe 3 centre-backs, he would fit that right side quite nicely. Somewhere where he's not necessarily isolated in the air would be a good thing to do. I say 23 caps for Wales as well. And as I say, solid campaigner, and that would be someone that I would choose at the right back slot. Had him a couple of times, and as I say, he's been very, very solid for me as well. Now I like to change it up a little bit, just to give you a little bit more information about the squad as well. So as you can see, they do have only a few weaknesses compared to quite a few strengths. One, as I say, which I mentioned, was could do with more depth at centre back. So I did actually, I didn't actually cheat in this case. I did actually just work that out by looking at the squad. It's not difficult to see that at all. There's not a great deal of quality depth outside of the first team. Again, the reason I haven't gone to the under-23s this time is there's not really a lot of quality in there. Burnley are a club with decent facilities, but in their local area, clubs like Blackburn do soak up a lot of the good talent in the area, and they're not sort of as established as that youth recruitment. So you will want to keep pestering the owner and the chairman to try and get that improved as soon as possible. 10 million is one of the smaller budgets in the Premier League as well. So again, that can be adjusted up to 16 million with the Ings clause, as I mentioned, but it still isn't that much. And as I say, overall squad quality in terms of passing and first touch isn't great. But again, they're not the most technical side, Burnley, and they're not shy in showing that either. As I say, I actually find that having players of that ilk, too many of them, actually isn't great. You do want a team of balance, and Burnley are very, very strong. They're solid in the tackle, and as I say, keeping in the Premier League, you want a bit of a fight in the squad, and they certainly have that in abundance. So I just want to say good luck on the save, guys. As I say, Burnley, probably one of your easiest in terms of keeping them up. As I say, they've got the squad to do that straight away. A few additions. As I say, you may be looking at the mid-table or top half. I wouldn't expect much more in the first season, but if you do, by all means, comment, leave me a link, come to my Twitch stream, and tell me about all your stories that you've had. And as I say, the credits after. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Friday at midday. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.